Hello, and welcome to my channel. This is Floyd Humphreys at floydhumphreys.com. And today, I want to talk about building a list. Now, you might not realize it, but a list is important. And every successful marketer has a list. And just think about the list that you're on and the different people that contact you. And you're one of thousands that they contact. So that's how they keep in contact with people, and it's how you keep in contact with people too. Now, in network marketing, the average person only sponsors 2 people, and then they cry, "Oh, this is too hard. I can't do it. I don't know even a single person that wants more money. Oh, woe is me. Oh, trouble, trouble, trouble." And so they, piss and cry, and so they decide that, it's probably easier to be stupid and broke, than it is to, figure out how to do something about it. So, they just complain and say that they're a victim, and that it's somebody else's fault, "Oh, I'm not rich. Oh, that's terrible. Oh," and they cry some more. Then they go get drunk or take some drugs, and that'll make them feel better. Then they go to jail, and then they go to prison, and then they say, "Oh shit, my life is just screwed up. It's all because I didn't have any money. It's all because I didn't have a list." Well, it is because they didn't have a list. So, here's the thing. If you got a list, now, like, if you got a Facebook account, and you have some followers, there's a list right there. If you got 500 or 1,000 people that give a shit about what you say, then there's your list. And all you got to do is say, "Hey, I just found the easiest damn thing since sliced bread. And I'm telling you, you can make $300,000, maybe even if you don't sponsor a single person. But if you do sponsor somebody, it's going to be easier. And you only have to get 3 to get your money back, and after that you're participating for free. And if you can't do that, you're stupid." So, there you go. And, $300,000 a month, most of us can live on that. So, it's all a matter of deciding, are you going to do it, or are you going to be a pisser and a crier? You're going to say, well, I don't know how. I'm too stupid to ask somebody that knows. I just keep taking advice from stupid people, and they're as dumb as me. Well, okay, there you go. So, how about asking somebody that knows how to do it? So I'm just going to tell you, you got to have a list. Now, building a list takes a little bit of time, and it does take a little bit of expertise. For instance, you got to have an automated sign-up page. Now, if you're going to make money online, you better have a blog. And that don't mean that you have to write a exquisite novel every day, but it does mean that you have to have content that people are interested in, that want to know about. It's called good content. If you don't have that, there's no sense in having a blog. But if you're going to make money, one thing you can do is just talk about making money. And your first blog might be, "I'm dumber than a rock. I know nothing. I'm so stupid. If brains was gas, I wouldn't have enough gas to drive a pissant's motorcycle around the inside of a Cheerio. But I decided today that I'm going to make me some money, so let's get with it." And then just document it. Then the next blog you write is, "Hey, I got a check for $25. It's $25 I didn't have." So, and then like that. And then, pretty soon, you're making quite a bit of money. So, a blog, you need a blog. And a lot of people have blogs, and they don't monetize them because they don't know how. But this is how. So you need to have statistics, and that is you need to know when you email somebody, even if you're only emailing 3 or 4 people, you need to know how many people got it, how many people opened it, how many people clicked on your link inside. Now, there's things that you can do with Gmail, and that will tell you, and I forget it's not Google that does it, but you can do it with a Gmail account anyway, and you can probably Google it and find out, but I quit using it because it was a pain in the butt, because I didn't want to know on all my regular emails, but it tells you statistics of when they read it, I mean, they even tell you what time they read it, when they opened it, and so you can have statistics even on Gmail. But anyway, that's not what this is about. So, but you do need it, because you need to know if your emails are working. If you're sending out 100 emails, or 1,000 or 10,000 or whatever it is, and nobody's opening them, then you probably need to work on your subject line. Something that's enticing them to see what's inside. And did you know this? Some people click on that just to find out whether they know it or not. So anyway, you get to where once you got a list, you get to practice, and you get to find out how to make an email that people will open and click on. And so, because even if you have 1 million email people on your list, if you send them a stupid email that they don't open, well, it won't do you any good, will it? So anyway, the biggest thing about email that people don't know is that you gotta set it up correctly. Your email server has to be set up correctly. If it isn't, then all your emails are just going to go to the spam folder. Nobody's ever going to see it. Nobody's ever going to read it. It's all going to be for nothing. It's all just a waste of time, and all for nothing. So, a lot of people don't have expertise, and that's fine. When somebody said to Henry Ford, "Why, you can't do this. You don't know how to do this, and you don't know how to do that, and you don't know how to do this, and you don't know how to do that." And he says, "I don't give a shit. I don't need to know. All I need to do is hire somebody who does know." Okay? So it doesn't matter whether you know or not, but it has to be done. Okay? So there's 3 things in your email server that has to be set up. There's your PTR, which basically is a reverse DNS, and that tells the email recipient that it's not a fake, it's not a fraud, it's not it's actually being sent from who says it's going to be, it is what it says it is. In other words, it's legitimate as far as it's from who it says it's from. SPF, Sender Policy Framework, and your DKM. Now these 2 are a little bit more complicated, and but if you have a good web host, they will know how to set these up. They're entries in your DNS, and it basically makes the difference between whether your email goes to the spam folder or the inbox. But if they're set up correctly, now you can get somebody like a Weber or GetResponse, and they have these things set up, and they'll only charge you a couple $100 a month. It starts out at 50 or something, and then it goes up to 100, and then pretty soon you're spending $200 a month, and then you realize that what they could do, any dumbass could do, as long as you have your email set up right. So then you decide you want to quit and do it yourself, and you can't because they own your list. You think you own it, but you don't, because you have access to it. You can go look at them one by one, and you could spend the rest of your life copying them one at a time to get them back to your own computer, but you can't just go and download the whole list, because they won't let you. They don't let you have access. It's their list. It's not yours. It's theirs. So and if you don't care and money's no object, then keep doing it. But you can do it yourself, and you can do it right. And you don't need to be an expert, but you do need to deal with people who are. But if you have a good web host, you can tell them what you want to do. You just say, look, I want my email set up. I want my PTR. I want my DNS. I want the whole DNS. I want it set up right. And I don't want my email going to the spam folder. And then you can do it yourself. Now, you need a dedicated email address, and you don't want to use the email address that you use for all your friends and family and whatever you do. You want to use a different one that's dedicated, because the server analyzes these things about what you send and who you send it to, and whether they report you as spam, or whether they open it or whether they don't open it, or whatever. Now, you can get some open source mass mailers, and there's a couple of them. If you got a good web host, if you've got a control panel with your website, like say cPanel, or even a better one, the best one is Plesk, but you generally have to pay for Plesk, although cPanel is free. But either one, you can add something like Mailman or something like that. And there's several. There's dozens of free or open source mass mailers. And so then they, when your system is all integrated with a dedicated email address, and you only use that particular mail sender to send your mail, you're doing it right, and your email is going to get delivered. Now, just think about this. A lot of people sell on eBay or Amazon, or even anything like that. But that's was at one time a pretty good. There was a time when I made over $100,000 a year profit just selling on eBay, and then it got to where in 2008, a lot of people decided they could make money on eBay, so they started selling the same stuff I was selling, and then they started selling it cheaper than me, and I said, I'm not going to sell it that cheap. I'll just keep it and look at it before I sell it that cheap. So I just quit doing it. Ended up with a warehouse. I got thousands of dollars worth of stuff that's now, just because of inflation and time that went by, it's worth it. You can't even buy it for double what I paid for it. So I can turn it into cash. But anyway, the thing about it is if you have a good email list, let's say you got 1 million, just for round numbers, which isn't very hard to get that many, and it's surprising. I can tell you how to get 100 a day, even 200 a day of new fresh email addresses. But anyway, so if you got 1 million people that you're sending to, and only 1% are interested, let's say, well, only 1% out of 1 million is still 10,000. Well, let's say that you make 10,000 sales. That's 1%. And if you only make $10 on each sale, that's $100,000. Then tomorrow you sell something else, and then the next day you sell something else. I mean, if you're a seller on eBay, you know how to buy stuff wholesale. So I'm just saying that with a list you can make a boatload of money. Now, if you don't have a list, then when somebody comes along and says, man, I got this hot opportunity, you just need a couple of people to participate, and you say, well, I don't know anybody that wants any more money. Well, everybody wants more money, but they're not going to fall for something stupid, and maybe they don't trust you to, if you're, on welfare and food stamps or something, then, maybe they're going to say, oh, sure, I'm going to believe you. You're so successful and rich, So you need a list. Now, a list all successful people have a list. It's just that simple. And a list is the difference between success and failure. Okay, now, the stuff I'm telling you about here, you can do, and you can do it yourself, and you can do it for free. You might have to pay somebody to, set up your DNS or something like that, or, it depends on most people, or web hosts will do it for you for free. They want your business. And but it might cost you, a buck or two here and there to do something, but basically it's going to be free. You can do it, but it will take you some time. Now, so that you can get started right now, within the next 18 seconds, say, with a email list, go to leadsthatconvert.org. Now when you go there, that place gives you 100 fresh emails a day. And you can download them to your own spreadsheet. You know, it's the name, address, city, state, zip, county, all that. I mean, there's just, you know, there's like 20 different fields. It's not just a name and an email address. But anyway, so if you refer just one person to them, they'll give you 200 fresh ones a day. So that adds up and it goes in your bank. So the second day, you got 200 people, or if you referred somebody the second day, you got 400 people. After a week, you got 700, or you got 1,400. Anyway, it keeps going into your bank, and you can email those people every day. They only let you send one email every 24 hours. But you can send it to all of them. And so, you know, on my list is over 100,000 that I send out. Like this morning, I think it was over 120,000 that I sent this morning. So, you know, and that's not as good as having your own list. I'll just tell you that right now. It's not, because there's other people mailing them people too. But when you have your own list, there's other people mailing them too. So, you know, it's sixes. But anyway, so the difference is that when you have your own list, they have specifically subscribed to your content, and they're saying, I like what you talk about. And so they're going to open your emails for sure every time. And, you know, they're interested in what you have to say. They're going to follow you. They're going to do what you tell them to do. Da-da-da-da-da. So your own list is better. But it's going to take you a little bit of time to set it up. And when you start out, you don't have 1 million. When you start out, you don't even have one. You know, you get a blog, and then, you know, somebody likes your blog, and so they say, oh, I'm going to follow this guy. So they subscribe to your newsletter. Well, good. Now you got 1 subscriber. 1. Then pretty soon you got 2, and then pretty soon you got 5, and then pretty soon you got 10. But it takes you a long time to get thousands. Now, there's things you can do. You know, you can go out and you can create landing pages and different things that people are interested in, and they'll go there and they'll put in their name and email and stuff, and you can collect them faster, you know, for your own list. But what I'm telling you about this leadsthatconvert.org is you can go do it right now while you're building your list, so that by the time your list is going, you'll already have tens of thousands of emails going out every day. Not on your own list, but you can have this while you're doing your own list. It costs $30 a month, but that's no big deal. When you pay $30 to send 100,000 emails, and I send 100,000 emails a day, and it costs me $30 a month. And they have a little referral program where, you know, if you refer a few people, you can get your $30 back, so that's no big deal. But anyway, so that's what this video is about, and that's what I wanted to tell you, is you got to have a list. Now, go to leadsthatconvert.org. I'll put that underneath this video so that you can click on that and go there. Now, and then you can come back and you can do these other things, and you can set up your own list, and you can look at my other videos and my blogs and stuff, and you can see and learn and stuff like that. And then you can get your own system set up, and then you can be a millionaire yourself instead of just thinking about it. Okay, so that's it. I want to thank you for watching. If you found this content helpful, please like it. Subscribe if you want to, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.